So we're Cheers. Oh. Water. Okay. It's like fun. Alright. Everybody's here music already? Music. Start from the top. You guys hear me alright? Hopefully. Drop something in the chat. I think I actually figured out the IT issues. This is good. hopefully you all made it through my like 3 other failures of the live stream just a while ago. This one I think is pretty smooth. Got a little music open to get work done, vibe out with it, study a little bit. Yeah, that's about all today. Unfortunately, gotta get some extra it's work, not YouTube. So I'm sure you kind of what I'm doing on my screen today because it is obviously work for somebody. I'll be here grinding it out with all of you here in the same city, trying to get work done, trying to learn a little bit more, studying for any licensing exams, or just college, studying for your status. Sit back, relax, and hang out and ask any questions along the way. And every once in a while, try to answer some stuff on the fly for you. Rust, working on. So right now I'm actually getting SD set together. So schematic design, kind of that 30% range for included documents for a new building. It's actually a police complex along the West Coast. So I'm getting information on drawings so that through around pricing for estimates of what the cost of the building would be to make sure that still the design is still in alignment with the budget that the client is looking at. Gary says music sounds good. That's great to hear. Always love that. What's kind of your go-to music for when you're trying to get some work done or trying to focus? Is it, some popular music that you got going right now, or more like low-key, like lo-fi, that's really popular, metal, like screaming in your ear, kind of what gets everybody going? So you see it behind me. There. Oh. I know it's not, but you know, so this one. There's low part coding music. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like listening to coding music too. I'm trying to get some work done. Like this color, the blue one, or that like teal color one? We talk about that, the maroon. Wow, the shawl coming in here. It's pretty accurate. This man's been through it before. it's not the flashiest thing in the world. It's just kind of a place to get jump in on the weekend and get some work done. To connect with all of you to play because unfortunately I can't make a video this weekend. Because I'm doing that other work that helps pay the bill, that helps me continue to make content for you. But why not join me? You know, just a little bit. But we all know that structural engineering, at least while you're running tasks yourself, watching someone else do that isn't that entertaining. It's going to be pretty boring, probably. But like I said, if this is a place that allows you to focus and study a little bit, and you have someone else in the same position as you trying to get some work done, come on in, sit back. The auditorium is wide open. Trickle in, get a seat, popcorn out the back. I think Jose's actually out at a party right now, so we'll actually have some peace and quiet in the auditorium with me, myself, and I. So sit back, relax. Turn out the you guys still hear me? The pod is very too low. Break up. No, sound. Man. How about now? You guys hear that? Turn it down a bit. What about right there? You don't think that's still good? You know, how about now? Nothing. That sounds horrendous. You guys are going through it. I appreciate every single one of you here. What about that? Oh, that's too much. What about that? How about that? That's still not very good. Try it again. about that? I guess it's better. It's a little bit better. Can you hear me? Man, that's late. Then we got echo. I guess I'll try this one last time with this. You guys don't, am I echoing anymore? I don't think I am. If not, so I just have to put the tunes on and continue to try this out. Troubleshoot this some other time. Back to sound like a robot. Beautiful. Love that. Yeah, I just don't know what it is.
I doubt that's working any better. Oh, wait, works great now? Wait, works great now? I know you just heard echo because I'm like testing it on my own computer so I can hear what I'm hearing. All right, we're gonna roll with it. We're still good? We're still good? Okay. Holy hell. I know all of you are gonna kill me.
I'm gonna try this one last thing. Is that better or worse? Okay, we're rolling with that then.
All right. Didn't respond to your LinkedIn message. Is this recently? I'll have to check that out. Can't leave you hanging. Turn it down just a bit. See, those match. Oh my gosh, I do remember this. Let me reconnect with you. Yeah, if we're close by, I'd probably do something like that. Thank you for staying patient with me. I got so much freaking crap going on. Yeah, I bet you we can make something work out. All right, so my bad, everyone. Yeah, everyone's been asking questions and stuff, and I've been talking like an idiot and you can't even hear me. Bishal, way up at the top from before, it's like pretty crazy how accurate you are of scrubbing architectural drawings. You're not wrong. Let's put it that way. Sid Kui, we lost him. R.I.P. He was a brave one. He had some good questions, but he couldn't hang on with my robotic voice, and I don't blame him. No trust submittal today. No submittals today, although I have a couple that are about to come in the door. Concrete Rebar is going to roll in here probably in the next week for another job I'm on. But I am working on an SD set, schematic design due next week, and we need it for preliminary pricing from the estimators to make sure that the building, as it's been conceptualized by the architects and by the structural engineers, is still within the overall price of construction that the client wants to pay. So we can't, if the client says, hey, I want a $10 million building, that's all I can pay, so that's all I want. You can't go above and beyond and design, a 50-story skyscraper. That's not how it works. That's not what they have a budget for. So you need to make sure that intervals at the beginning of the schematic design phase, the overall concept of the building is within the parameters of the client's budget. So I got that going on. Yeah, it's like 30% complete, kind of in conjunction SD 30%. It can bounce around a lot based on submissions, what you call things. Yeah, we do provide consulting services in the state. Yep, absolutely. So since none of you heard anything that I said besides maybe some robotic beeps and boops and sounds, today really is just I have to get into the office. I'm doing some work today, so that's why you can't actually see my screens, because it's private work. I can't relay that to all of you, unfortunately, but working towards that SD submission next week. Need to get a couple things done early. So I'm jumping on today to kind of grind it out, and I figured what better than to connect with all of you through just kind of sitting back, relaxing, getting a little studying done. If you have to get a little work done or you're just trying to learn something new, know that you got me in the auditorium kind of busting it out with you. So hopefully you hear a little bit of music going on. You can get into kind of the mood, focus in, get your tasks done. Jose, pretty sure he's at a party right now, so the auditorium doors are wide open. Funnel on in. You got a nice comfy seat, popcorn in the back, we already know. And yeah, just I'll be answering some questions along the way, but it's really going to be low key, and it's going to be pretty much what you're seeing is me doing work on a typical day to day. Just you can't, again, see my screens for privacy reasons. So I'll do some I don't know, some maybe 10-minute intervals or something, and then I'll check back on chat, try to answer some questions, and I'll get right back into getting some work done. Sound good? All right. Thanks for everyone who's tuning in right now, saying hi, hopefully communicating with each other in the chat. It's great that you're all here. It's great that you're stopping in, and yeah, that you're just part of the team and you're trying to better yourselves. So I know it sounds corny, but I really do like that. I like that. I know that there's other people on the other side that, are just trying to get some work done. And this is a place to get some work done. Okay, you just caught my eye. You're an electrical engineer? Man, I love that you're in here just chilling. That's great. That's great. I know that most of us in here, most of the team, civil/structural focus, but I absolutely admire electrical engineers. I think the work that you guys do is really cool, really fascinating. I actually messed around with early on in my career, just getting into this is going to sound so lame, probably such a low scale of what you do, but getting into designing circuit boards and stuff like that to make phone chargers and other stuff and solar arrays. I found that really, really fascinating. I just did it all by self-taught, and I got I have solar cells in the in my closet and everything, and just liked putting components together and figuring out how to kind of work with electricity because it scared the shit out of me before. Didn't learn a whole lot. It was just me messing around, but huge respect. Wood design means that obviously we have our Simpson product manual close by. No music, freaking. Oh, I just muted it. Boom. Let's jump right into the new track. Let's boogie. Popping Revit open. Time to start spinning around the model so I can figure out what the heck's going on here. Vishal's getting motivated. I love it. I love it. Some advanced framing. Nice. Sounds good. I'll take a look a little later. Phaser power factor, 3-phase circuits. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Wayo, where am I from? I'm originally from Massachusetts in the United States. Now I'm all the way over on the West Coast. Working on getting an SD set out right now, so I'm doing work right now, not YouTube work. I don't even really consider YouTube work. I think it's honestly really fun creating content. But yeah, working on my professional work right now, working on a police station. So getting some preliminary framing dialed in, foundations dialed in, gravity system, lateral system, preliminary layout, so that we can get some preliminary pricing. This necklace is actually, believe it or not, my girlfriend is working with a company. I forget what they're called, but it's like a piece of nanotech. I'm not even really quite sure, but it helps eliminate and block like radiation and like the waves that come off electronics and absorbs them, so it's not like just constantly blasting you all the time when you're allowing, you know, like Bluetooth headphones on, computer on. I got like 3 computers in here right now, all humming away. So yeah, this is supposed to, yeah, there's a good shot of it, absorb all of that, and it's supposed to be kind of better for your health in a way. So we have it here kind of chilling in the office, and every once in a while I throw it on just to, you know, why not? If it works, it works, and if it doesn't work, what's the harm? What's the name of the song that's bumping right now? It's by Fox Morrow, Glitterati, and it's a playlist on Epidemic Sound called Unwind and Chill. Hope you're liking the tunes. This is not a playlist that I've put together specifically, so hopefully it's not too bad and it's not causing anybody too much discomfort here. Because unfortunately right now with my, I barely made this stream work today, as everybody who was here earlier knows. So I can't even hear music myself right now, so I'm just in like pure silence. Which, hey, sometimes I get my work done that way. Most of the time I like music, but the music's for all of you, and unfortunately I can't hear it myself. So, you know, I'll make do. Guayo, I'm not really a big concrete guy. Actually, a buddy of mine who's coming over later, he's like the king of concrete. He does really good at PT. He does high-rise analysis. He's Mr. Concrete. And maybe sometime I'll get him on here and we can just have like, you know, maybe a little podcasty kind of conversation, and he can give some insights onto that type of world of design and everything. I mean, he's got like a 50-story high-rise that's about to top out that he did. He's got like a 20-story mid-rise that's about to top out or did top out. He's in all that kind of design, performance-based design, concrete, you know, special moment frames and special shear walls, all that jazz. So that's what he really strives in. But for me, I've actually not gotten too involved with that. So not sure. I'm not sure if I'm the one who can give you the best advice on how to model or what software to use to model two-way slabs. I've only ever done a two-way slab. Honestly, I've done it by hand to really grasp it, and I haven't done a lot of two-way slabs since. We got some FE exam takers coming up. Hey, best of luck, boys and girls. Rooting for you. This whole team's rooting for you. You got thousands at your back cheering you on. And always remember, you're doing it for you, right? Like, I know that studying can be intimidating. It can be, you know, scary sometimes. But just kind of at the end of the day, remember that the things that you're studying is because you want to learn it and you want to get better at it and you want to get licensed and take that next step in your career. It's make sure you're always doing it for you. And then when you think about it like that, it doesn't matter if you pass or if you don't pass, just you know that you're advancing yourself for yourself. And whatever timeline that happens to be, that's okay. It's your timeline because it's for you. So don't sweat that stuff. Don't sweat the results. Just sweat each day you're setting aside to study. that you're doing it to better yourself. And then if you've done that, if you've answered a question, or if you learned something new that day, you've succeeded. And perfect. You're feeling good. Chris Vivas, anyone waiting on grad school decisions right now? Been waiting for a minute. Yeah, I can't recall when I was going through the waiting. Actually, I had it pretty easy because I was staying at the same school that I had my undergrad in. So I just talked to my teachers and stuff, my professors, and they already like assured me like, oh yeah, you're staying like midway through the school year. So I was like informally accepted before even applying. So I had it pretty easy. But what about the rest of the chat in here? Anybody else still waiting on some answers? Yeah, this is a good debate going on in the chat right now of like, do you need a master's? Do you not? Does it depend on the type of engineer that you are? I've created a video on this before because I think it's a great topic, and I think it's debated so much because it's just a case by case scenario. Some people they stay for the masters and they get it, and then it opens up a great opportunity for them. But others go through with just a bachelor's and excel so much more. I think there really is a huge bit of chance of the people you meet, the employers that you could meet, or the people you meet in grad school versus just an undergrad. I think without a doubt you learn a lot more with a master's, but comparing it to professional experience is tough. I still think, for me, professional experience trumps the additional knowledge that you gain through a master's. And I learned a lot through my master's, I think, in comparison to my undergrad as a civil engineer. I learned so much more on the structural side of things. But I still think I learned a lot more quickly in the professional field. But again, it's different for everybody. The Shaw for trust submittals, do you check whole trust analysis or just check dead load, live load, drag load, basically all the loading criteria? My firm taught me to only look at load. How do you do it? Getting into the basics, yeah, I do a once over, making sure that all the load criteria, for one, is like the beginning basis of your check on this submittal. Because if their design criteria is different than your own, well, they've already screwed it up. So that's check number one for sure. And that's kind of a nice basis point to say, okay, do they have all the loading criteria correct, all the drift and all that kind of stuff? Because if they do, it at least means that they're paying attention somewhat. Because sometimes you can get submittals that come through for anything where it's just kind of a cut and paste generic, and they shoot it out without even really thinking about it. And that's when you want to pump the brakes. You want to say, all right, I'm working with somebody that's not really paying attention, and now I need to be really on top of my game and really scrutinous of what they send me. But if you have a set that they have all of the different trust conditions, they have it all very clearly laid out on plan as to where you call out, trusses, they've captured all of that design concept, and then the loading criteria matches your own, that really gets you confident that they have someone behind the wheel that is being responsible. And it's a scary thing to think, but sometimes there's so much work to do that things can sometimes get missed. So it's our job to just really have a confidence level when it's a deferred design by somebody else that they understand what you want from them. But I wouldn't say so, although I will backtrack. So if things start to look weird, that's when I will sometimes dive deeper and run some quick pencil calculations to see how their reactions are starting to look for their trusses. Are things making sense based on the loading criteria from just a simple statics run through? But full-on analysis, I don't typically do that. So I am currently licensed in the state of Oregon and the state of Massachusetts. And that's for my professional engineering license, so my PE. I am slowly studying towards my SE, which I'm taking one day at a time as I study, just like all of you. Yeah, California's they're the most strict state for, like you said, precisely that reason, because they have such a high seismic activity, especially down like in LA and areas like that. And for licensing, at least for your PE, you need to pass 3 tests. You need to take your standard PE test, you need to take the seismic specific portion of it, and then you also need to take surveying test as well, which from my friends who passed the California test, they said actually the hardest part was the surveying, just because for people who are in design and they're not surveyors, you don't get to do, that's not part of your job. You don't ever get to experience any of that, so you don't get real world experience. So it's purely by studying. Any book suggestions? I actually just picked up a new one from my boss. It's actually right back here. Funny you should mention. Oh, it's called Great by Choice. It's kind of more like on the businessy side of things and kind of business growth and that kind of realm. So less so about like the ins and outs of engineering, but I also really enjoy business books as well because it's a huge part of our industry that unfortunately I don't think we've done a very good job of over 100 years. There's of course exceptions to that, but I think by nature engineers, we love to do our work and tinker and work on actual engineering. And there's far few in between of engineers that also enjoy the business side of things. And being a great engineer doesn't translate necessarily into meaning that they have a great engineering company. So in order to be kind of the next level engineer, I think it's important for the future that engineers learn both business as well as their trade simultaneously. Just my opinion, but that is, so again, Great by Choice. I'm not affiliated in any way, shape, or form, but yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. I have a few others in the back. I have some engineering related stuff that was kind of cool. I also made a video on that way back, but I can bust them out. I think they're just in the back cabinet if you guys want to see those. happiness advantage. Oh, Chris, I haven't heard of that. I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah, let me see what I got. This black one is called To Engineer is Human. I know it's backwards. Come on, focus. But this one's cool. It's by Petrovsky. And I really enjoyed this one. It's a really old school book, but it was a nice little read. It's not very long. And just kind of gets into the facts of like why we build, why are we like this, and yeah, I haven't read it in a while, but maybe I will now. Maybe I'll re-add it to the list. Why Buildings Fall Down. I think a lot of people have heard of this before. There's also, I think, a sequel or like a tandem book. It's called Why Buildings Stand Up, and this just gets into fundamental engineering concepts, but does a really great job of explaining them to someone who wouldn't necessarily be in the field of structural engineering. And what I found, and it goes through a couple of historic disasters and failures of structures and why that happened and how, you know, the reason behind it, why they were missed, kind of a little bit of the forensics engineering side of things. But again, they keep it very simplistic, and it helped me out a bunch because, you know, being explained something simplistically can go way further than just, you know, going through an advanced, you know, differential equations course and you're barely grasping the concepts of things because they seem so intimidatingly complex. This boils structural engineering and its failures down to very digestible chunks of information, and it helped improve my ability to understand complex structural engineering in a simplistic form. And then the other one is The Tower and the Bridge. And who is this? Who did this one? Who are you? Billington. David P. Billington. And this one is cool because it gets into definitely a little bit drier, but gets into the art form behind structural engineering. It's not just we make sure things stand up and the architect is the artist behind everything. There is art within structural engineering itself, and they go through, again, examples of historic structures that it's the structure itself that's beautiful. It's not the cladding, it's not the, you know, the paint color or the fringes around the windows. It's the actual physical steel, the concrete, and not just, it wasn't just done that way to look pretty, but it's also functional. There's a reasoning behind it to make it structurally adequate to stand up, and blending those two together and finding that symmetry creates some of the coolest structures we have on the planet, and they go over some of those structures. So those, I think, so that's 4 right there. I think it's a good starting place for everybody. Yeah, I suggest you check them out sometime. Let me say again, I know it's like all upside down, topsy-turvy, but those are some really great ones that I read early on in my career, and I should probably bust back out because I don't remember them all that much. Jeff, frickin' appreciate you, man. Popping in here, saying hi. Appreciate that, and I'm going to pass that on to the rest of the team. Team Kestävä, right back at you in your career. Hopefully it's structural engineering or something that you find a great passion in. I hope you're advancing just as well. Thank you, my man. And I'm going to do that YouTube thing right now because, you know, it got to appease the overlords of YouTube and the algorithm. And so if you haven't yet, you're hanging out inside and you're having a good time, you're studying a little bit. If you haven't, remember to like. And if you're feeling the vibe of Team Kestävä, subscribe. But hey, only if you want to. Totally free, yada yada, unsubscribe at any time. But we'd love to have you here. So smash the like button. You know what to do. Or, you know, don't, because if you don't like what I'm doing, hey, I don't want sympathy likes. And this isn't dirty water, by the way. There was a protein shake. Excuse me. There's a protein shake in here before, and I just cleaned out the rest of it with some fresh water, but it looks like sewage. So, you know, sue me. Don't freak out. I'm not that weird. Gotta stay hydrated. Sheldon, again, same to you, man. I appreciate you coming in here and the words of praise. It really does mean a lot. I'm learning just as much every video that I make, and hopefully I'm providing a little bit of knowledge or a little bit of clarity to some areas of engineering that aren't explained that well. And sometimes, you know, you might finish a video or say, man, he's just butchering this concept, and that's okay too. I'm still trying to figure it out and how to convey info across via video, via YouTube, trying out some new things. Some will work, some won't. But as long as I am trying to better all of you, I appreciate you coming in and saying thanks. Big help in Canada, eh? All the way up in the Great White North. Hey, that's awesome. I've been to Toronto, actually, for the North American Steel Conference when I was a junior in college. A couple buddies of mine in our steel class got to go and got tickets paid for and our hotel paid for. So we drove from Massachusetts to Toronto, and that was an amazing trip. So Toronto was really cool. I don't know where you're at, Sheldon, but liked Canada a lot. I'd love to go back. I want to go visit Banff. I'm not too far from Vancouver, BC, so maybe we'll head up there. But yeah, cool country, man. Got some Pike's Place coffee while you're studying? Nice. I think it's 2 o'clock now. I think I'm gonna bust out a mid-afternoon coffee, grind out the rest of this work. Ooh, a little Pike's Place? That sounds good. It does sound good right about now. The shawl all the way from Dallas, Texas. Love it, man. We're reaching some crazy parts of North America. I love this. We got any East Coasters out there? We got someone local. We got Canada. We got Dallas. Where's everybody at? Don't like give like your home address. Like that'd be that'd be crossing the line a little bit. Be a little weird. Wouldn't recommend it. But like general area where you're at. All the way from Brazil. Over in Ottawa. All right, cool. Well, Sheldon, you right now represent all of Canada, so you're doing them proud right now. Philippe, all the way from Italy. My sister actually lives in Italy right now in Brescia. Her husband is a professional basketball coach. So Pelicanation Brescia. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but small world. Thanks for coming in all the way from Italy, joining the chat right now. So freaking cool. Hopefully I'm helping you learn a little bit of that US building code. Oh, I said it backwards. That's the one. Yeah, I do a lot of Excel. Michelle's definitely on point there. The company I'm with now does a lot of MathCAD, which I'm getting used to. I haven't really worked with MathCAD too much, but getting up to speed with it. And then there's different management softwares based on project to project based on kind of what the contractor on board wants to use. Like I've used Procore before. I've used a few others that I can't off the top of my head remember the name of. Procore is a really good one. I like Procore, at least for construction administrative work, so when the building's being built. Actually, yeah, we use Microsoft OneNote internally for a little bit of like my team internal coordination, making sure everyone's on task with stuff. So we do a little bit of that. Microsoft Teams is what my company uses since the pandemic rolled out and we're work from home. Now we're working hybrid. That's a decent chat system. I don't know if anyone else like people using Slack or people not using any of that, still using email. PTC MathCAD, there it is. I gotta step away for 1 second, squad. I'll be right back. Do we use EnterCalc a lot? We do not use EnterCalc. That's kind of I used EnterCalc in my very first company, and I enjoyed it. But my current one does not. I think it kind of goes back and forth from company to company. I think it's great software, though, to be honest. Vishal, that's a nice setup. I like that. Josu, I actually enjoy some bulletproof coffee, and also I'm drinking right now Kion coffee. Both I enjoy a lot. Blonde roast coffee. Man, that sounds good. Yeah, there's definitely a ton of local roasters in Portland. That's like a big thing. I don't know if they actually roast here, but there's got to be some, right? Portland's known for like coffee and like kind of kooky, eccentric food, but like really good food. Yeah, there's got to be some out there. Tamale Boy. No, I haven't heard of that. I'll have to check it out. I have like a huge laundry list of places to go eat eventually. All right, I think this Revit model is cleaned up, conveyed my point across for scope of structural design, get these sheets printed out, and then I got to make a couple edits via Bluebeam. Bluebeam, actually, from a PDF editor perspective, I think Bluebeam above and beyond is like king in our space right now. I don't know what anybody else uses. If you unfortunately use like, gosh, like Acrobat or something, I like RIP. I feel for you. Oh, it's in Happy Valley. Okay, that's not too far away. But yeah, Bluebeam, if you are not familiar with Bluebeam, and I wasn't until I started my professional career, get your hands on it and get proficient with it. It's easy to pick up. I mean, it's just a PDF editor, but it's so powerful. You can do anything you want to PDFs. And I believe at least every firm I've been at has had this. Tell them to get a couple more jobs, Vishal. Excuse me. They need to invest. That is for sure. Once again, glad everyone's been here, hanging out for a little bit, even if it's just stopping in saying hi. Appreciate every one of you stopping in. Do what you got to do. If you're not feeling it, head out. Plenty of other stuff to grab your attention, I know. If you want a quiet place, study a little bit, come on in. Wide open. I'm in the back office, but I'm also checking in on all of you out in the auditorium. So grab your seat, grab a little popcorn. Drinks are welcome. We got a couple of you with coffee in here. I'm gonna have a coffee pretty soon, after I finish my water. And let's just get in the zone. Portland Gear. No, I'm not familiar with them. I'm not a huge clothes person. I have like one or like I got this Patagonia on that I got a long time ago. I got the sew patches on and there's still holes forming in it, but yeah, like right there. Usually once I buy something, I like commit to it. I want to make sure that I really like it, and then I wear it for like forever. I'm not a huge like fashion seasonable changing, keeping up with the times person. I kind of like what I have as long as I'm comfortable. But I'll have to check them out. Nelson, let's go, baby! Pass the civil PE exam. Congratulations. That's awesome to hear. Glad you jumped in. Let me know. Let the team know. That's sick, man. Victor, glad you're here, my man. Jumping into an SE practice exam. This man is getting down and dirty right now. I love that. Let's let him focus up, knock that thing out. Derek Young, welcome to the auditorium. Funnel in, my man, grab a seat. You know all too well, sitting next to me in college all those years, what we went through, where we're at now. Anybody in the chat? Derek Young is a really good friend of mine, and he's also a transportation engineer. We went through civil engineering through school together, lived together, one of my really great friends, so welcome him in. Glad he's here today saying what's up. Pretty much can't see my, so this is just kind of like a study sesh. I got to work today a little bit, Derek, but, and you can't see my screens. I don't have it set up to where you can see them because I'm doing professional work, so can't let people see kind of what I'm doing in the background here. But yeah, if you're coming in, if you're studying for something, if you're doing homework for that MBA that you're getting, you know, got some tunes going on for your studies. Anybody out there who is a transportation engineer or is really wanting to be a transportation engineer, man, Derek Young in the chat, he's a good one. He's a really good engineer, so pick his brain sometime. You just returning the favor, Derek. I always distracted you in school. More retaining wall videos. Absolutely. Yeah, I can get another one done. All right. Bluebeam set is done for the SD. For the SD set going out this week, and now I just need to update the narrative. Chris Vivas. What am I working on right now? I have a police station that I am currently, it's like a public safety center / police, whoa, holy sun. Oh. Sorry for the filter. Sun just pouring in for like the first time in Portland. Public safety center / police complex. Doing a little wood design, mass timber mixed in, some CLT in there, some intermediate steel framing where you got some heavier loading, and conventional spread footings, all that kind of stuff. Our geotechnical report came back good. Our site is actually pretty good from a soils perspective, so nothing fancy there. But kind of managing this project as well as providing engineering support as well. So not too bad. Single story, two roof levels. I've done a couple of these now, so it's kind of a walk in the park. But that's what I'm working on right now. A couple other things in the pipeline. I work mostly on public projects type of thing, so fire stations, civic centers, courthouses, police stations. I've done some hospital work. I did a lot of work in my past company for an airport, so I did some kind of major structural work, which is really cool. I've done tunnel design. But for right now, just a little fire station. I already messed it up. Actually, I'm doing a seismic retrofit of a fire station too. That one aside, this one today, police station. Do I get OT? My company has this really, I'm salaried, but my company has a kind of a weird policy where like if you work over more than 40 hours up to a certain point, then you start to get overtime. But like there's like a 5-6 hour gap over 40 where you don't get paid because I negotiated that I would be paid salary. But they like kind of track that kind of stuff when it comes time for like reviews and everything like that to see total number of hours you've actually been working. This one today is I actually am working ahead and have to take a little bit of time during the week off because I have a family emergency. So that's why I'm working right now. I'm not like totally busting my ass to keep up with work. I just have to get some things done now to free up a little time midweek. Wow, we've been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's crazy. Our study beats are already freaking terminated again. I am sorry for the lack of music. Let's try and put something else on. You guys have listened to this enough. I haven't even heard it, but let's see what else we got vibing. Oh, and actually, this is something that I wanted to bring up for everybody because I only get to mention it every once in a while in my videos, but I don't know. I enjoy cryptocurrency, and I think it's fascinating, so I do a decent amount of research, but okay, pump the brakes. This is not a crypto plug. I'm not trying to sell you anything. But I do use a internet browser called Brave, and basically it's like supposed to be a more secure form of browsing software that they don't track your information and companies can't get a hold of all your personal information and then spoon feed you and just cram advertisements for that pair of shoes that you looked at one time in your life, every single day of your life. But with that, I've actually been able to get verified as a creator through the Brave network, through YouTube, and if you are so inclined to help support the channel and you are someone who uses Brave, you can actually tip with cryptocurrency through that verification. So my channel is verified through them, and if you're already picking up what I'm putting down, you can leave a tip to help support the channel, and I would absolutely appreciate it, but you never have to. You never ever have to unless you want to. I'm going to keep doing this regardless. And if you have no idea what cryptocurrency is and this sounds like gibberish, ignore me. Pretend I'm not even here. Pretend just tell me to shut up. Okay? But it's something that I found pretty cool. And if you're a part of it as well, there you go. I'm verified, and take it away from there. All right, let's get some tunes on for you guys. Sorry about that. All right, we're gonna go explore here. Let's see. Where's this taking us? You tell me if this music just took a turn for the worse, because I can't hear it. Chris, thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, that FE. Whew, that's some nightmare fuel right there. But I've had my setbacks just as much as other people, so it's not that I'm some perfect pedestal example of like what everyone should be. I have all my flaws just as much as everybody else, so I've been stumbling along the way just as much. Just stay optimistic with it. But yeah, back then, oh my god, I was friggin' crapping my pants. I was not in a good spot. Have I ever worked on any excavation protection systems before? Are you talking about just shoring in general? Yes, I've actually had to design the shoring for the tunnel that I designed. So I have had to get into that design area before, and I actually did, what did I do? I did H-piles, and then with, I think it was concrete encased H-piles, and did some timber lagging in between. and then had to do some like intermediate steel to help keep everything propped up right. But yeah, done a little bit of that. Yeah, shoring. Okay, cool. Yep, I have had to do that before. And this was actually at the airport, and the loads were crazy that the geotechnical engineers gave us. So it was really cool getting to work with some forces like that. It was neat. Yeah, that surcharge can be wild. And I was right next to a massive river. Actually, it was a gorge. So you also had, you had pore pressures that were just like through the absolute roof. And I was also designing for 250 PSF for vehicle surcharge as well, because it's in a construction zone all over the place. So at any one time I had to design for that, on top of hydrostatic pressure, on top of, I think we went down like 18 feet to its deepest point. Not a fun time. Basically building a bathtub in the middle of a river. All right, let's knock out this narrative. Yeah, a little bit, Chris. I got an acoustic in the back there that you probably are picking up. I have an electric one, although I don't have an amp. I didn't bring my amp with me when I moved out west. But it's more of a winter thing. I just like messing around. I actually, this past year, really haven't messed around too much, so I'm probably super rusty, but I remember a little bit. I don't really play like, oh man, I've went through and practiced and all that. I just like when I hear a song that sounds really cool, I take the time to learn how to play it. But so sometimes I can make it sound good, but I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Later, my man. Glad you joined us today. Go get that gas. Hopefully it's not too painful. Yeah, I even think all my calluses are pretty much gone, so I'll probably only be able to play if I pick it up for like, 15, 20 minutes at a time, then my fingers are smoked until I get those calluses back. I like a little bit of country. I don't listen to any country music. Actually, that's one of the types of music I really don't like to listen to, at least, but to play like pieces of guitar, like licks from some country songs is kind of fun. But I'll play anything, just anything that I think sounds good. And again, not so much songs that I like to listen to, just songs that I think have cool melodies or, again, licks. That's where it's at for me. And it can come from anywhere. John, welcome in, my man. Grab a seat. Looks like you got plenty to do. Glad you're here with the rest of us. Get cozy. I'm here for a little while longer, wrapping up this document, and then it's time for something to eat. I got to work out a little bit, and I might read my book a little bit. Who knows? Maybe a little Elden Ring if I have a little bit of time, but I don't know. I played enough of that yesterday. For those of you who don't know about me, I actually, as a kid, enjoyed video games so much. I was part of a huge video gaming family. My sister played, dad played, even my grandparents played a little bit. And I hadn't played since really I went to college, and hadn't played since the pandemic started, and now have just gotten back into it a little bit and having a really, really fun time. Any of you out there enjoy the occasional video game, computer game, just on your off time? Awesome. I love that. I know, I hear you. Obviously we wish we could play a little bit more, but just that little off chance you get that little bit of relaxation and that free time when you deserve it, it feels awesome. Those are some great games. I've never played actually any of those, but they all sound right up my alley. Still got music going? Yeah, we do. Okay, cool. How's this mix going? We feeling this? Next time, I'm going to figure out how to actually listen to the music that you're all listening to, so I can, change it up. Because all of a sudden, if you got like yodeling that came on, all of a sudden, I have no idea, and you're in here trying to answer that, that shoring problem, and you just got like some deep Mongolian throat rock. It's probably not going to jive all that well. Sheldon, thanks for joining us today. Peace. All the way from Canada. Later, man. I'm about at the end myself, everybody. Got a little bit more to do, though. Chris, same to you. Later, glad you joined us for so long. I really do appreciate you all being here. Have a great rest of your weekend. John, right now, I haven't done one in a really long time. I'm slowly evolving the channel, trying to figure out what's most important for all of you, what you want to see, and today was just one of those. I had to do work and I couldn't make a video, so I figured what better way than blend the two, be available for all of you, learn a little bit more about me while also getting my professional work done. So I don't have anything scheduled, but maybe I should. Maybe I'll throw a questionnaire out to everybody and see, do you want these scheduled so that you can be prepared for when I'm doing these, and you can schedule it in for yourself to study. So not currently, but I think that's a great idea, so I should get on that. I feel you, John. That's a great thing about this is exactly that. You feel like you're not alone. You feel like, your dog's running outside and kids are laughing on the weekend and you're stuck in the office. There's more people out there. Make it a little bit easier for you. Come on in anytime. I should definitely be doing more of these, so. All right, narrative is updated. That is going to be it for me. Let me just inform the parties involved. And then I'm going to be shutting it down and grabbing a little food. But it's been great with all of you here today. Hopefully I'm not interrupting a problem that you're on. I know that, let's take a look through here. I know that Victor is like knocking it out right now. Some freaking brace frame problem or some like concrete moment frame, something crazy. So he's deep in studying right now. Let's let him do his thing. And one last time, if you haven't yet, you've enjoyed yourself here, been able to relax but focus a little bit, leave a like down below. I don't know why I'm sounding like I'm ASMR or something. Like, please like down below. I can like tap on like steel or like scrape concrete, or, like drive a screw through wood. I don't know, whatever engineers like to hear. But yeah, leave a like down below if you enjoyed yourself here today. If you're new here and you haven't yet, subscribe, but only if you want to. Totally free. It's free for you. It helps the channel out tremendously. It helps us grow, helps us reach more people looking to learn, looking to maybe become engineers of some form or another, or just better themselves at the career that they are on right now. So if all that sounds good to you, subscribe. It means a lot. And let me send a few of these emails, and then I'm going to shut her down. So it's been great seeing everybody. John, see you next time, my man. Thank you for being in here. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Palestine Youth, I remember you. I've seen you popping up here before in the auditorium. Glad you're in, man. Hey, I'd love to connect sometime if I found myself out there. All right, until next time, this is Rich with Team Kestävä. Thank you, team, for being here today, putting in that extra time, and I will see everybody next time. Later.